Alright, in this clip, I'd like to talk about the money management loss grid strategy. Here we have two types of loss grid. We have the pending entry and the signal entry. Now, in this clip, I'm going to talk about only the signal entry. Okay, let's say if you execute your trade in one direction and the market went the other way. So now you're still confident in your direction of trades and you want to execute more. That's why you want to use this loss grid strategy. Okay, so let's open up the expert advisor inputs. So to use the loss grid strategy, you need to turn either the pending entry or the signal entry on. Now you can turn both. In this case, in this EA, you only have one type. But in our other EAs, you might have both to choose from. You have to choose only one. You can't choose both. Okay. Um, if you choose both, it may not work the way you expect it to. Okay. So in this case, in this clip, we're going to talk about the signal. So we turn the signal entry on. Okay. Now, once you turn this on, because you decide to choose the signal to enter the loss grid, you have to choose the signal as well. And in this EA, you only have one type of signal. But in our other EAs, you might have more than one type of signals. You might have several. So you have to turn on the signal that you are interested to execute the loss grid. Here there are different options. First is to choose this signal only for the first order execution. By the way, if you choose this to first, you need to make sure to turn the first order, whatever direction you want, buy or sell, to auto. Otherwise, this will not execute. Okay. If you choose these to auto and you have no signals turned on, okay, for the first order or for the entry, then it means that it will execute the order right away once you put on the EA. Okay, the loss means the loss option means you want to execute this indicator only for the loss grid. For the entry, it means you want to use this indicator both for the first order execution and for the loss grid. Okay, now once you entry, then let's look at each execution. How much will the EA execute? This lots entry is the size of the trade execution. 0.01. In this case, we put in 0.01. It means that for each time, okay, let's see. I want to show you. If you put on the EA, for each time that you hit these button, or for each time that the EA, for the first order that the EA execute, it will execute only 0.01. Okay. Now, if once your order is already executed and you went to hit those buttons, it will execute the order for you. But the size will be here, 0.01. Okay. Now, once you started losing money, then the loss grid will activate. Okay. You have to specify the grid distance. Okay, let's change it maybe to 200. Let's say, just for illustration only. Okay, here, suppose, okay, let's clear all this. So suppose you start your actual buy, either putting the signal through the signal where you have to turn this to first or entry, then it'll execute for you. Okay, and if you bought it at 2000, okay, and now it's in the wrong direction, so the market kept on going down. Okay, the market kept on going down. Let's say, okay, the EA count here, the first order. So for each order, it's supposed to be buying for each grid this much. Okay, so it'll count that the orders on hand, you should have a total of 0.06, but you only have 0.01. So now, once the signal comes on right here, it's going to buy 0.05 for you. And now, if you felt that this is too much, you can limit your lots size here per order that it executes. So let's say if you only want to limit 0.02, okay. By the way, for the grid distance and all these, you have it separately for the buy and for the sell. So you don't have to make them the same. So here, once the signal comes on, you will only buy 0.02. So you're still missing 0.03 because you only have 0.03 on hand and the EA count is 0.06. So what happened is, even though if it comes down to like 950 and the EA count is still the same, okay, because it's not even one grid yet. And here it sees that it's still missing, so it'll buy for you again 0.02 and it's still missing. Okay, now for here you can control your risk by controlling this, limiting the lot size for each execution and also for the grid distance, so that you won't just be keep buying. Okay, now here this is the martingale. Okay, this is for the ones who likes lots of risk. So let me show you how it works. Suppose we turn this is the martingale, so we turn this to true, and let's say every 2 orders you want to increase your orders. Okay, how much do you want to increase? Let's say 0.01, 0.01. And from this example, the count will be 0.03. Okay, so total on hand, you should have 0.12. So once it sees the signal right here, right, the first signal, it wants to buy 0.09. No, sorry, 0.11. Okay, however, you limit the lot size to only 0.02, so it can only buy 0.02. So it's still missing 0.09. Same idea, once it sees another signal right here, it wants to buy 0.09, but you only limit it to 0.02. Okay, so that's about the martingale. Now you can also limit your risk right here. The max total lots buy and sell. You can do it separately for the buy and the sell. So here, let me show you. What you can do is maybe if you want to limit it to maybe 0.1, okay, and suppose we did not limit this size. Sorry, one. So once it sees the signal right here, it wants to buy 0.11. But because you limit the max total loss buy to 2.1 on both, okay, 0.1. I normally like to do it both at the same time, unless I have a strategy not to do so. Okay. Then instead of buying 0.11, it will only buy 0.09 for you. Okay, so that's about it that I have for the loss grid. Just want to make sure that if you turn your loss grid to true, either signal or pending, make sure, especially for the signal, if you turn it to true, make sure one of your signals must be turned on, either to the loss, which is loss grid only, or the entry, which is the loss and the first, or the execution. Same idea, if your signal is turned on for the first or for the entry, make sure, because it's for the first, right? Make sure on your first order here, turn is to auto. Okay, otherwise, if you put it on manual, it will not execute your trades. Okay, so that's all I have. Thank you for watching.